Hello, and welcome back to another Minecraft Let's Play video with me, Elven Dragon, here on SQUIDcraft, Liara's patron server. So last episode, we went and worked on a fish tank, which is basically directly above us right now. And today, you may have noticed, I have cleaned out the lava lake that used to be here. And we are going to be working on converting this room here, which houses our nether portal, to the lower nether hub, as well as our main cheaty furnace array. And we are going to be turning this whole room here into kind of a melted cave, using quite a bit of blackstone and probably a good chunk of the almost 2 stacks of gilded blackstone I got going bastion raiding recently on stream. But before we get into that, there is something that I want to do first. One of our other server members, Zugov, has issued a request/challenge for boats to be built at the port part of his base, and we're going to go give him one. Alright, so I have grabbed all of the materials that we are going to need, and since this is Zug, we can't just give him a normal boat. Obviously, we need to give him something mildly obnoxious that barely fits the theme of what was asked. And what we're actually going to do is we're going to build him a submarine. But not just any submarine, no. We're going to build him the Nautilus from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. So I'm going to go get everything set up, and then I'll be back once we are ready to build. Alright, so here we are at the port, and there are quite a few boats here already. So I think I want to build this thing a little ways away from the docks here. I know we have to make it so that it is above the water, so I think this kelp will be a good place to start. Or actually, let's do this one here. We will use that as the basis. And now I need to make sure that it's going to actually reach above the water. Let's see, 3. Okay, good. So I guess I'm going to get this ship built up, and then I'll be right back. Alright, and there we go, one small submarine. Now there's nothing inside of this thing. I've left it completely empty. But I think it is pretty good. I couldn't do the interior that I would want. Mostly because if I were to do that, this would be way too big for the area. I think this looks pretty good. So now, I think all we have left to do is head on back to our cave and get that decorated. Alright, so beyond the fact that there is some stuff I want to dig out over here to make this look a bit better, I want to tear this down so it's a bit smoother transition and maybe work a bit over there. And of course, stop mobs from spawning. What we're going to do is we're going to use the 7 blocks that I have, and we are basically just gonna terraform the walls and the floor of this cave. So I think what we will do is we will probably use mostly blackstone, some polished, mix in a bit of obsidian into that, and of course use the gilded blackstone here. Thinking we could probably get away with a little bit of basalt in the floor and the walls here, and also mix in some blocks of coal. So if we look at that small sample there, I don't think that looks too bad. I'm not quite sure about the bricks, though, because they aren't exactly a natural looking texture. I guess they look okay in some spots. Now I'm not going to do this section here, because if I try and touch this, it's going to break the strange broken lava here. And quite honestly, I kind of want to keep that as kind of a silly feature of this cave. So I think we'll probably make the boundary of this area right around here, just so that we don't risk disturbing that water, because once we get that to update, there's no going back. I guess we can probably feather this out a bit to here, and we'll just leave that undisturbed. So I'm going to go get the pattern here, or not really pattern, because this is kind of random. Block palette? No. Detail work. Yeah, we'll go with detail work. The detail work here into the rest of the cave. And then I will be back with you to show off what it looks like. And just like that, we have the entire center part here redone, as well as most of the walls. I still haven't touched the ceiling because I'm still not quite sure what I want to do for that. And what I have in my hand here is all of the gilded blackstone we have left. And given how much it took to redo all of this, I'm not quite sure that's going to be enough. I'm quite happy with how this has turned out here. I think it looks really nice with the obsidian and the coal bounding the blackstone on one end and the basalt on the other. It really brings out the grays in the basalt. Blackstone. Wrong, netherstone, which I think looks good. And you have the coal for a bright black and the obsidian for a bright black purple. Really makes it pop, especially at a distance where they both look completely black, as we have a bunch of slimes in here. Still have not taken care of that. Probably never will, given that we still have them spawning elsewhere. I have not touched this back cave here. I don't know if I ever will. I may just close this area off, because quite honestly there is a lot back here and it is a mess. Most of that area hasn't been touched since it was lit up, so it is quite a maze. And 90% of the time I go back there to explore, I get lost. So it's easier just for me not to deal with it, since it's not needed as part of the base. Now there's one more thing I want to do here once, and we'll just lure the slimes to that fire there, which is actually part of what I want to work with. And also because it will reduce the number of slimes we have bouncing around down here. Because if I go and turn on RTX here for a second, you will notice most of this cave is completely black. Now we do have the bright glow from the nether portal there, which I think looks great. And I don't want this to be super bright. This is a cave after all, but I do want this to have kind of a faint glow. I'm gonna have to knock out that torch and hide it. I think the blue fire provides a good amount of light for in here. I think the other thing we are going to do is we are also going to mix in some lava, because this is a melted cave after all, or supposed to be melted. So it makes sense that some of the stone is still partially melted and hasn't cooled down yet. And it should also provide quite a bit of light and a bit of a warm glow to the far back corners of this cave. But this cave here isn't the only place I want to do some fancy lighting to make this place look good in RTX. If we go upstairs here to the gem room, you will notice that we have a very similar problem. I haven't done any torch hiding in here. Which, if we climb up onto here where we get the best view, you can see the areas where I haven't taken care of the torches yet are still bright. But the rest of it here is still pretty dark. Now, I do have these fires here that I put in just to light up the staircase here a little bit more. Because before with RTX, that was really dark. So now we just have this nice faint glow most of the way around. I gotta do something here, I think. I guess just add another fire there. But that helps light this up a bit. The reason we're just starting fires wherever we feel like it and not using netherrack is because fire tick is off. So these fires won't go out. Apparently it's raining. It's going to make it a little bit more difficult to navigate down the staircase, but I think it provides a nice good glow. Now as for the gem room, I want to put a few of these orange fires around. Actually, we got to do this room too. And I'm getting distracted, but a lot of what I want is I want to put the blue fires. So if we light the patches I prepared earlier, I can find where they are. I probably should turn off RTX for this, but whatever. Lighting all those, we can see instantly that really brightens up this area quite a bit. Now I'm thinking we're gonna close off this section here because we don't need the stairway. This chest is gonna move, that chest is gonna move. And I think we will just have small fires around here too. And that little bit of firelight should help bring out the sparkliness in the stones. And should also help with our slime problem in here. Because if slimes are bouncing into fires, they aren't bouncing into us. But the gem room is not the only room I want to take care of some RTX lighting issues because of how we've lit this place up with torches under stairs and slabs. The community farm room is also really dark. The sheep farm here is bright because we got lights for all the grass and glass, but the rest of the room here is quite dark. Same back here, we've got plenty of light for the salt area because I specifically lit it up that way, but the rest is pretty dark. Okay, that's weird. The reflection in the glass doesn't have the pumpkin head on it. I don't know what is going on with that redstone there. That is kind of weird. I don't think I've ever noticed that before. Hi, slime. So this room needs some lighting. Perhaps my favorite, this corridor needs some RTX lighting too. But my favorite room right now is this one. Now I could go and knock out some of these torches along the walls here and make this even a little bit darker. But I think they work where they are. But I am very, very happy with how this one turned out. Remember when we did this, this is slime blocks with sea lanterns behind them. And I love how this place just has this soft green glow throughout it. So making this place look good in RTX aside, finding random spots where I have extra torches here. I don't know how many of them were placed by me or my server mates trying to be helpful in lighting this place up, because this is the community trading hall as well. No moth. Not interested. Anyway, RTX stuff aside, that's not actually what we're going to be working on. Let's turn that off so we can see. What we're actually going to work on next is the library. Now this is a room I had marked out for doing a community library at some point, but I had gotten rid of all the rogue villagers in here. Oh well, we will have to drag him off to the trading hall later. But this room here, I've already put in a wall of bookshelves, and I have started work on a little kind of armchair sort of thing. To be perfectly honest, I have no clue what I'm doing, and I'm just making this thing up as I go. So right now what I'm doing here is I am trying to get the seat cushion in, which is fun because we're working on diagonals. I only want this thing to be about a block wide, which is why we're doing 4 mini blocks for the seat, and a single full-size mini block doesn't look quite right. And there we go. I think that's the good base for our chair. I still got to get the sides in, which I think will probably be micro blocks of this purple concrete. Yes, I'm using purple concrete. I didn't really care for any of the wool colors that we had. I didn't think red, orange, or lime looked very good for an armchair in here. But we got books and we got an armchair. I think the other thing we're going to need in here is a small little fireplace. So we'll put fire on the back row. We will put our stone stairs there and there, and I give it more of an arch look. And we'll take out a few blocks in the middle, just to make it look like it's got kind of a chimney. It's not going to go anywhere. And let's light that. And we'll put some iron, what is that block called? Not trapdoors. Whatever the iron bars, yes, that's what it's called. Iron bars in front of the fire there. And I think that'll look pretty good. After that, we'll just have to do the detailing and such. Let's stick a lectern in here. Figure out what we're doing with this hallway here, because this is a pretty long hallway. And this connects back to our fish tank here, which still needs some decor. Still need to do the roof here. Roofs are difficult for caves, I find. Not usually my most favorite part of doing caves, but we're not working on that right now. So let's head back to our chair. There's one more piece of this chair I want to get in before I put the back on. And that is to use this wandering trader head as a cushion. I've seen this used before in other mini block chairs. So I think it'll look pretty nice in our little armchair here. But I want to get it on before the back. because otherwise it'll be a little bit of a pain, because most of it is going to be covered by the chair parts. I probably should not have tried to make this on a diagonal. Oh well, too late now. So we'll just kind of hard the parts of this that we don't want in the back of the chair. And because these are mini blocks, we can sit on any part of this chair. I think what we have so far is a good start. We still need to take care of that villager. I think maybe we should stick some more shelves over on this wall, just because this is the view that we have from our chair. Do some decorations over there, maybe hang some lanterns from the ceiling, just to give it that bit more of a lived-in look to it. But I think I should hang some lanterns from the ceiling off some chains. And there's one more thing I want to test out, and that is hanging some glass micro blocks off of a couple chains, just as some sparkly, shiny, dangly things. Add a little bit of color to this area. But before we do that, I want to test if we have a glass mini block over a light source. Will it change the color of the light? It's an important question, because if we do that, that could make this look really nice. So I've grabbed some yellow and cyan glass mini blocks. But we have plenty of torches, and we can check in this hallway here, because we know in RTX this hallway is completely dark. Just quickly see if that moth has any glass. Cyan stained glass, so we already have that.
I don't even know
I think we can do without most of those. So we have light source and the glass. And I should have brought the dyes with me. Alright, for simplicity's sake, we're just going to do a full-size mini block. And now we just need to move that over the torch. So, hopefully this will work. I don't actually even know if these will RTX properly. Okay, so they do RTX properly with the texture. And I do like how that looks, but it's not giving me colored lighting, which is a little disappointing. Probably would have been smart to test if actual glass colors the lighting first. So unfortunately the test with regular glass yielded the same result as the mini block. But I think we can do what I had originally planned anyway. We just won't have multicolored spots of light around the room. What I had planned is to have our mini blocks and actually micro blocks. So we need micro, rotational line, and I guess rotate X. Let's see how that looks. I think we need one more rotation. Rotate Z. There we go. But we will hang these from a chain, and they should look like kind of dangling glass bits. I don't know what those things are called. So we'll just string that up with different colored glass, and we'll put a few of these of different patterns in this cave, and I think that'll look really nice. At the very least, it'll add a little bit more color and be rather shiny. So I guess I will be back once we actually have an armchair built and some of these glass doodads hanging from the ceiling. Alright, so I think I've got most of the decoration for this room here done. Got lanterns dangling. I've got these dangly things here, which actually look really nice when I turn on RTX, because the glass turns perfectly clear. But the chair is done. I've also added in this little table here with a mug on it. I would figure out how to put a book on there, but I think that's a little too complicated for what I want. But we can sit in here, and I think this is a pretty nice view from our little chair. I think there is one more thing that this room needs to make it feel really complete, and that is a decorative carpet. So I think I'm going to use yellow carpet as the base, and we'll make the design in it with mini blocks. So I'm going to get the base pad in, and just like that, we have a 4x10 carpet. So now what we need to do with this is we need to put a decorative design on this carpet here. So I've got a bunch of different colors of wool in here. Let me put the concrete away. And I think we're going to use some of these for our carpet pattern. Now I know I want to put red mini blocks. Hopefully we don't hit any of the glass while we're doing this, because I need to lower these red mini blocks into the carpet so they actually look like part of it. And I'm just going to use these as a decorative border, and hopefully that'll look pretty good. Well, that kind of ruins my pattern plans. If they're just going to be all black, that's not going to be very useful. That's a problem that we're going to have to deal with. I think if we put some string under the yellow carpet, then that should prevent the mini blocks from turning completely black. Yeah, because once we remove the stone block there, the mini block becomes colored again. So hopefully string will work. Alright, so I think I've got a little bit of a carpet pattern here that I like. Not overly sure about it. I think it's okay. I might switch out some of these blocks later as I get more colors. I do like the floral pattern that I have here in the center. I think with that, this room is done. Short of some small details of adding more patterns to the carpet. I might add some more dangly glass things as I get more mini blocks for that. Right now I'm kind of limited by colors. And I think I filled up the space here quite well with dangly things. But I really look how these look in RTX as well. All of the glass here just becomes super clear. And I love it. Never really noticed the lines on it before. But I think that is going to be it for today. I still have a couple of rooms I have to do ceilings on. But unless I get a whole nother idea, I'll probably do the ceilings and the lighting off camera or in a stream. I think that's probably about it for my base. I think the majority of this place looks pretty good. And so with that, I think that is going to be it for today. So if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and consider subscribing. And I will catch you all in the next one. Bye.